Hello everyone, I am Priha and I am speaking on behalf of All Win Education. Today I am thrilled to be joined by Prodige, one of our bright students currently in his second year of animation, art and design studies in Toronto. At All Win Education, we are committed to supporting students like Prodige with study application, settling into new country and even guiding their siblings' school visa application. Prodige, it's wonderful to have you here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Sounds great. It's been quite a journey for you since you started this chapter in Canada. Today, I would like to discuss your experience so far, what you have learned, the challenges you have faced, and how you have grown both physically and professionally. So let's begin by talking about your experience with All Win Education. How did you find the process of working with us?
The process was pretty smooth. I started when I was in Ghana. I got a connection with one of our All Win's employees when I was looking for a way to apply for university here. And when I did find, they took care of everything else. They sent me the documents to fill. They also sent me any information that was useful for it. And it was very helpful because they helped me throughout the processes of filling out the applications, the processes of finding the college that I wanted to work, that I wanted to study at with the degree and the career path that I had. And they helped with the visa application as well. And all I had to do on my part was just sign the documents and everything went smoothly.
Okay, that's amazing to hear. We always strive to make our students' transitions smooth. Could you share one moment or aspect of our sport that stood out to you the most?
I remember, but before December, there was an issue that occurred, and apparently I wasn't able to go to my school because the winter program that I applied for it didn't work anymore. So as a result, there was an issue, like a difficulty for me to come here in Canada. But then after having a meeting with All Win Education, we worked throughout finding a way for me to come here and studying here. And as I said, the process was very smooth. So like they really helped me with the settling in, and when that problem occurred, I kind of had doubts again, like for coming here this year. But with the help of All Win Education, I was able to find a way and contact my university as well, and then speak to them and find a solution for me to be here.
That's great. That's great. And Pradesh, now that you have living in Toronto for some time, how do you find the education system in Canada compared to your home country?
Well, I can't really make that comparison because when I was in my country, I was in high school. As I came here, I'm in college now. But seeing the college life in here in Toronto and my home country, or even the places I've been, I feel like this place is great for students because there's a great student life around here, and also the college that I'm going to, the teaching is very good. And because I'm doing art, and it's like very small classes, well, 8 to 10 students, but we have we have the time to actually inquire of the instructors, and they have time to actually answer us. And I feel like this is great because it gives every student a chance to learn and to ask the questions and to feel comfortable with the programs and the career path that they're using. Also, talking about the facilities, I feel like the facilities here are very broad. They're very big, and there is like opportunities to do a lot of things in the facilities. There's different classrooms for different classes, and it's just so comfortable when you can go to a certain room to study, or you can find another place to do your projects, and or even hang out with friends in opportunities. I feel like it's very good, because the instructors that I have here, they're ones who actually worked with big industries like Disney, and they also worked with some great animators to produce like movies and everything. So they have actual industry experiences, which I feel like is a very, very good thing to have when teaching students about the art. And I feel like this is also one of the major differences between studying here in Toronto and studying home, like at home. So yeah.
That's amazing and that's fantastic perspective. Can you tell us more about your daily life as a student in Toronto? How do you balance your studies, your social life, and your professional life?
Okay. So when I first arrived here, it was pretty normal because the times the college the courses start, it's like 10 a.m. So I usually wake up around 8 a.m. or sometimes 7, and then I plan out the things that I'm going to bring to college, to campus, and then I take my bath, I have my breakfast and everything, and then I head to school at like 9, 9, 10. I don't live far from my college. So when I do 3-hour lectures, but we do take some breaks. We do get 15 minutes breaks, 5 minutes breaks to help the body reset and the mind resets as well. And throughout the day, we have different courses, sometimes based on the schedule that we have. And when we end school, it's usually around 5 p.m. And after that, I head back home. And because it's the evening, there's sometimes traffic. So it usually takes around 40 minutes to an hour to get home. And when I do get home, I put my things away. I get ready to have dinner. And also, when I have time, I do my own thing, like going to the gym or just walking around, having letting the body feel better after a long day of doing arts, and yeah, that's basically it.
Okay, great, amazing. So, are there any challenges you faced as an international student, and how did you overcome them?
When I first came here, I thought that I wouldn't have any challenges because I had traveled, like in different countries, and I've experienced different cultures and everything. But it was the first time I came here, without my family. I came here with my brother only. And the both of us, we had college. So we only came back in the evening. And I also felt like, I missed my family a lot when I was here, like before, when I came here before. And, having people to socializing. Of course, my brother was there, but, most of the time he also went to college. And, I had to get used to the new environment as well. And when we came here, it was pretty cold, so we had to adjust to that. Being in a new country, you have to learn about the place where you are, and the cultures, the things that go on. And the only issue that I had was missing home, because as I said, I had been in different countries and I had experienced moving or like resettling in different places. I've experienced it a lot of times, missing the parents and missing other siblings. It was something. And the thing to address them was having time during the week or during the weekend to contact them and to speak to them. Sometimes my brother and I sat there, it was nice because in a different country like this, it's nice to have a familiar face with you, and it's nice to speak to people you're familiar with. Even though you meet a lot of people, it's always nice to have a face that you recognize. So that's basically how I address those issues.
Thank you for sharing that. For other international students watching this, your insights are incredibly valuable. Let's shift to your professional journey. You have built a portfolio and started a freelance business, which is so impressive, by the way. Could you tell us more about the projects you have worked on?
Yeah, well, in college, we have different projects that we work on, and I've also began working on my portfolio because, as our instructors tell us all the time, as art students, you have to have a portfolio ready anytime because the work can present itself anytime. So I always try to add my new work in my portfolio, keeping my portfolio, ready. And also one thing is, when I first joined the school, I had a portfolio. But then with the new things that I have learned from the school the college that I'm in, I always have to update new things because I get better every time because I have different skills every time. So it's always good to update and to show the difference between how you were when you first joined and how you are now. And I always do that to update my portfolio. And I do get some freelance work and working with different people. It's always important to build connections when you're in the art world because art is basically having connections, and to be successful in it you have to know people. So doing some freelance work to get to know your clients, to get to know their preferences, and to also learn about different styles of the arts that you want to do, because not every one of them have similar styles, or not every one of them work the same way. So having those clients is like preparing you for like the future when you're going to actually work in the industry, because different studios have different styles, have different working settings and everything. So that's it. And as I said, at school we did have some projects and everything.
I recall helping you connect with a local company for a designing project. So how was that experience for you?
Oh, it was good. It was it was about making designing brochures for Kanglori International Academy, and it was pretty great working with them because it was so nice because I had to make some research about high school brochures and how they're made, the different layouts, the different styles and everything. So it was really good, and I also worked hand in hand with some people from the school where they provided me the informations that I had to add to the brochures, to the booklet. They also provided me with some pictures that I could potentially add, and it was like a kind of back and forth between them where I do my work, send it to them, and check if it's okay, and then they send back feedback, and I always work on it. It was really nice because though I'm doing art and everything, this was a work on design, so it was a kind of a different environment, but then it was nice to see that oh, I'm an art student, but I can always do design, I can always still do research, still do analysis of different things, and working in collaboration with different teams, and it was nice. Didn't have much challenges because the people I worked with basically provided everything that I had, that I needed. They gave me instructions, they gave me the informations to add. They also gave me, as I said, the pictures and everything. And I learned a lot with time management because when you do work on your own projects, you're the one who sets the deadlines and everything. But when I was working with them as well, I had specific deadlines to add. And even though I said before that I had clients for my freelance, but I'm also kind of the one setting the deadlines. But for this project in particular, they were the ones to set the deadlines, and I had to find a way to balance between this and doing my own projects. It was fun, and I learned a lot with the design, how to lay out things, and how to work remotely with different people. So yeah, it was really nice.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, what advice would you give to students who want to start their freelance journey while studying?
As I said, it's not really like an easy thing to do. First of all, you have to acknowledge that it's not an easy thing to do, and second of all, you have to set a timetable that's good for you. You have to set deadlines, but you also have to be realistic with the deadlines that you set for yourself. For example, if you have an animation project, you can't set the deadline for like 2 days or anything. No, because you have to take time to work on it. And once you do, like, set a realistic deadline for it, then make sure you work on it every single day. It doesn't have to be, 5 hours or no. It's like even like an hour a day is good. 30 minutes a day is good as long as you work every single day, and be sure to respect those deadlines the freelance people are giving you. Also have your own deadlines, your own small deadlines, like for example, this day I'm going to do like 30 seconds, the next day I'm going to go over the lines, the next day I'm going to add the colors and everything. So always having your small deadlines and having a very good workflow is important. And also with building your portfolio, it's always important to go back and seeing the old things that you had, and you always have to add your new things, because one thing I realized with me this year is that I've improved a lot, not just in like one thing, but I've improved in so many different things. And always seeing my old works and seeing the ones that I have done now, it's like very good to compare the two of them and seeing the journey and how you used to do your things and how you do them now. When it comes to building a portfolio, always go back to make the difference and always add the new work. Add the new work. If, for example, right now you have even if you have like two new work, always add them in, because by the end of, for example, let's say a month, you could have more. And when you have more, you'll eventually get to decide or to choose the options that you want to put. But for now, when you have things, it's always good to add them. Always add things to your portfolio. Always add the processes. Always add the things that you learned from doing that project. And when you eventually have a lot, you can choose from the ones that choose the ones that you like and everything. Also, when it comes to networking, especially as an art student, I find it's important to go to arts exhibitions, to arts galleries, to see other people's works. And when you do see that, it also gives you more of an inspiration to work different fields, or to use different mediums and everything. And it's always good, because when you go there, you end up meeting some of the artists, and they end up telling you their stories. They end up telling you, the things that they've learned throughout their journey, and the things that they've worked with and everything. And also, I remember a few days ago, I went to an arts exhibition, and I spoke with an artist, and they told me that it took them 10 years to be able to, to be able to get their works out and everything. And they always said that, art is not something to be like, that's easy. A lot of people can say, oh, it's just drawing, it's just painting, but no, it's like, it's a workflow. And once you find that workflow, and it's not easy to find, when you do find it, when you do find the creativity, when you do find, that balance, you're gonna be good. But like everything is always a process. And that when I spoke with that artist, it was very nice. And that's how I feel like, the importance of networking is. You're always going to events, always making new connections, and putting yourself out there, showing people your work, and showing people the things that you do, because it happens rarely. But when you do find work, when you do find work in the arts industry, it's like, or anywhere else, it's mostly through connections, and when you do put yourself out there and speak to other people, you put yourself in their mind, and when they have something that relates to what you do, they'll always call you and always say, oh, I know this guy that can do this, I know this guy that can do that. So it's always important with the networking and everything.
That's amazing. I'm very impressed. So beyond academics and work, have you discovered any new passion or hobbies since moving to Toronto?
Oh, yes. I moved here in January, so it was winter, and I pretty much didn't go outside except from school for like the first 2 3 months. But after I got used to being here and everything, I got to visiting different environments, biking, listening to music, going and taking pictures and everything. I'm like, I have now a passion for photography. So like everywhere that I go, I always try to take pictures. I always try to, document the things that I see, and, always, appreciate the environment more, and appreciate, the opportunities that you have, and always looking around and seeing and appreciate the creativity in different things. So like since moving here, I have my new hobbies are basically like cycling, going outside. Not that I didn't do that when I was in different countries, but I find myself going outside more here. Not necessarily going out to with other people or to specific places, but just going outside in nature, just breathing the fresh air, looking at the trees, looking at the plants, looking at the sky and everything. And also interest in reading books, watching podcasts that educate you in the field that you want to learn, and also experiencing new cultures and new food. Because Toronto is a very culture based, like there's many. It's a multicultural environments. So they have like so many different things you can do here. Like you can go to Chinatown, for example, and experience the Chinese culture. You can go to Koreatown, for example, and experience the different cultures. Or you can go to some Indian places to eat the food. You can go to Latino places to experience that different environment. So it's always different hobbies and different things that you do.
Amazing. It's wonderful to hear how you have grown outside of the classroom as well. So, Prodige, how do you think these new experiences have shaped you as a person?
I think these experiences made me better than I was before. When I first came here, I was more of an introverted person, and I wouldn't really go outside to experiment the things that I just spoke about. Yeah, and actually living here in Toronto, and going outside and everything, even you get to open your eyes more, seeing more things. I said before that I traveled around different countries and having different different experiences with different cultures and everything. But here I found myself actually using those experiences because I was socializing, I was conversing with people, I was communicating with different people, and it always adds on to bettering yourself, making yourself a better person, and always on that journey. Every day is a process. It's like today I spoke with this people, this amount of people, and the next day you speak to another amount of people, and even if sometimes you have setbacks, it's not a loss. It's all a journey, and in a journey you always have failures, you always have things that don't meet your expectations. But the good thing is to always keep going, always working towards making yourself a better person. And I found myself becoming more, I wouldn't say extroverted, but becoming more open to different things, to becoming more open to socializing, to speaking, to going to certain events, being in a different place and being by yourself and making new friends like in being in a different place. And I've also found myself being more independent because, as I said, I came here without my parents, with my brother only. So I had to learn about doing things, doing a lot of things on my own, like for example, cooking different dishes, cooking different
Sounds
things. And
great. Sounds great.
yeah, it was very nice, and also appreciating different cultures because, as I said, this place is a multicultural environment. So you have different cultures around you. So when you see so many cultures before you, and you just learn to appreciate them, and it's really nice because, for example, as one time I went to Chinatown,
Okay.
and it was my first time going to any Chinatowns. And it was nice because you really felt the Chinese culture, even though you're in Toronto. You felt that the different Chinese arts, different Chinese cuisine, and all these things. It's really nice. Living here made me more like a better person, made me more independent, and helped me appreciate other cultures more.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. Your story is truly inspiring and gives a lot of insight into what international students can expect when pursuing their dreams in Canada. So, before we wrap up, is there any message you would like to share with students considering all-in education on or planning to study abroad?
I would consider, I would advise them to consider all-in education because they're very helpful, and you know,
Thank you so much.
they work very well when it comes to getting you here, providing you with the information that you need, helping you do the different things that you want to do here, helping you find different colleges, different places. It's always nice with them. And also when it comes to studying abroad,
Yeah,
it's always nice, but you always have to prepare yourself with change
yeah,
because not everything is constant. Always expect failures because if you don't expect failures, then when you fail once, you will give up. But if you expect failures, you will eventually overcome them. So, set yourself good expectations and expect to fail sometimes because when you fail, you learn,
yeah.
and never give up in the things that you want to do and always pursue them. So that's basically the advice I would give.
It's been pleasure speaking with you today on behalf of Alvin Education. I wish you all the best in your studies, careers, and future goals. So, and to everyone watching, if you would like to learn more about how ALL WIN education can support your academic and professional dreams, feel free to reach out to us. Have a great day.